Well, he says, if you're a black woman, read a book about an Asian man. If you're a white guy, read a book about a black girl. And then he goes on to say that uh, hip hop as a culture is bad in this regard, and that it shuns things that are different, which is true. And you could do some learning if you embrace things that are different and dare to explore the unknown. He has some quotes throughout the book, which I thought were pretty cool. Here's one of them. It's destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And that's by William Jennings Bryant. And he has an acronym that he says he lives by called PYP, which is pick your passion, pick your poison, or pick your procrastination. And in essence, the takeaway behind that is you can choose one of those three. You can pick a passion and pursue it. You can pick your poison and get hooked on it, whether it's drugs or women or fucking off or whatever. Or you can pick your procrastination and never getting to do what it is that your passion is because you're busy procrastinating doing other shit in the meantime and putting it off. He says the more you choose to pick your passion in decision making, the better off you'll be and the closer obviously you'll get to your goals. He referenced a story that I completely forgot about. I think it was probably like around the time when he was speaking about the books that his mother used to make him read, that I remember reading in elementary school, and we actually did like a little class play inside the classroom. Like not like my elementary school used to have like auditorium plays where each class would have to put in a play. Like I think it was like once a week or once a month or something like that. Every class would have to put on a play, and you would go to assembly and watch the play. Which is really cool. That's cool that school did that. Shout out to PS 108 in Queens. But this wasn't one of those things. This was like a little, we read the story in class and then we like acted it out for, like 15 minutes probably or something like that. And it was called Stone Soup. And I completely forgot about that story. And just remember it. Charlamagne like mentioned it in passing. And I was like, oh shit, Stone Soup. I remember that shit. But vaguely. And I just remember being some like soldiers that had stones and that's like all they had or something like that. And they had to like cross a bridge and they were hungry and they decided to make like a big feast and all they had were these stones and then they decided to make stone soup. If I'm not misremembering it, which I probably am, but based on that, I was thinking, what's the significance of that story? And I'm guessing it's just like something along the lines of making something out of nothing. I don't know. Maybe I gotta go back and read that. Stone Soup. He also told the story of when he was like a local DJ somewhere in a small radio station, probably in South Carolina, where he still was at this point, I believe. But it's the first story that got picked up and got like national ratings because this girl flipped out on him. It was I don't know if she was like a reality show star or like a porn star or something like that, but her name was Buffy the Butt, and it was this lady that had a lot of plastic surgery done, and he interviewed her, and he told her, or he asked her what she was going to do, and supposedly, according to him, I didn't see the interview, although you could find it online, he asked her candidly what she was planning on doing when her looks faded and when gravity set in, because what she was doing wasn't sustainable long term, and she took offense to this and threw a CD at him and started saying that he's nothing and that he's just a local DJ. And he told her, and I quote, "My mouth is gonna take me further than your butt." And I thought that was pretty funny. Something else that he said that I liked was that you can never, even if the situation blows up in your face, hurt yourself by helping others. no matter how big you are, you can always help the next person. If they don't capitalize on your assistance, that's on them. I thought that was pretty salient advice. He mentions a couple times throughout the book how this like newer generation doesn't appreciate or see opportunity unless there's a paycheck tied to it. And he said that's not a good way of looking at things. That you should be able to see the opportunity past the paycheck, and that sometimes you're gonna have to do things for free to get ahead, which I agree with. He cites an example of an intern that was working on the Breakfast Club and was always there, and then used to go to school after the internship, used to go to school, and then after school used to come back to the radio station to see if there's like anything that he could do, and to a point where it was like kind of annoying. He was like always around type of thing. And when Hurricane Sandy happened here in New York, where if those if you all don't know, there was a Hurricane Sandy here in New York where the city got flooded and there was like a lot of damage. Subways were flooded, a lot of buildings that had like underground areas. Like there's a bar by my job actually that got flooded and like went out of business, and like a lot of businesses like that. And it was just no driving or taking public transportation into the city or anything like that. And the guys from the radio station stayed at a hotel, and this kid wound up sleeping over, and because he didn't like have a hotel in the city, but like the DJs and shit did. So they like walked over to work the next morning. He was there because he decided just to like sleep over, because he figured nobody else would be able to make it into the office, so he just slept in the office and was there to help them the next morning. And he just shows like that. He mentions that as like perseverance, story about like perseverance and hard work and willing to put in the work for something that you want to do, something that you're pursuing, because he wanted to be in that like entertainment business, the intern. And even though he wasn't getting paid, he was going above and beyond. Then when like a permanent position opened up, he was like the first person that they recommended, and then the kid became like an executive producer of another show somewhere else or something like that because of that. So it was like a stepping stone type of thing for him, and it came from that willingness to put in the work, even though you're not getting directly paid right away for it. And that's just like one of the stories like that stood out to me. And there's a bunch of others similar to it that I like as well. And the next clip that I jotted down kind of plays into that last point. He says, there are a lot of people that will be ready to take advantage of you and your willingness to value opportunity over money. Who gives a fuck? As long as they're cracking open the door, you're the one that's getting over in the long run. Thought that was pretty dope. Let's see. Got a couple more. Principle number 5. He hasn't broken up into like different principles. Principle number 5 is put the weed in the bag. And this is a reference to Belly, the movie, which I remember seeing once a long time ago. It's like one of those like quote unquote classic hood movies. I gotta check it out again because I don't remember it at all. But he says that there's a scene where these like low level drug dealers are, packing up like nickel and dime bags and talking about like all the shit that they're gonna buy and all the like chains and cars and jewelry and stuff like that. And then they get like snapped on by a higher up that tells them to like shut the fuck up and just learn how to put the weed in the bag first before they start making these like grand plans for things. And he goes on to make the correlation between like that sentiment, which is pretty much, learn your fundamentals first in whatever it is that you're pursuing and what you're doing,